Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. And happy Pride to everybody out there who celebrates Pride. It's been a really tough year, both for the queer community and just the world in general, and there is a lot of really terrible stuff going on right now. But we do need to find those moments of joy and happiness in all of this suffering. So Pride Month is here, and we are here to celebrate queer liberation, both of people in America and people across the entire world. And that includes the liberation of queer Palestinians, queer people in Congo, and things have been heavy this year. But if you are celebrating Pride and you are taking this moment to bring some joy and light into the very heavy reality that this year has been, I want to give you a little guide on how to maybe celebrate your first Pride ever, or just give you some tips on how to keep your Pride festivals fun and safe for everybody. So, number one, go to Pride with a group of people. That's not to say you can't go to Pride solo, because you can. There's plenty of people that do. You would not be an outlier if you went solo. But it is much safer and much more fun to go with a group of people. Pride events are really just big celebrations, so it's much more fun to go to a party with a group of your friends than it is to go alone most of the time. Number two, in the same vein with safety, please don't engage with protesters. I know it's very tempting to talk to them or say something back to them or just engage with them in general. It's just don't. It's not worth it. It truly is not worth it. It's satisfying for like a second, but they are there to garner attention, and even if you are saying things to go against them, even if it's like in a respectful way and you're just having a conversation with them, it's still just not worth it, because they are there to garner attention and take away from the actual celebration that's happening. So it's not worth it to engage with protesters. Just don't. You'll thank me later. Number three, wear comfortable shoes and clothes that you are most comfortable in. I know it's tempting to whip out the 6-inch heels and be slay and give cunt. I understand. But at a Pride festival, you will probably be walking around for a very long time. So maybe bring the slay heels and maybe a pair of sneakers to wear later on when your feet get tired. If the event is large, you're going to be walking a lot. Even if it's a small event, you're going to be walking a lot. You're going to want to go walk around and see all the vendors, all the performers. There's just going to be a lot going on that's going to require you to walk a lot. And please wear clothes that you are the most comfortable in. Pride is a party. It's a celebration. It is a time for you to show up as your most authentic self. You can dress however you want as long as you are most comfortable. Number four, drink water. I don't care what state you're in, what country you're in. I don't care if it's freezing cold when you go to Pride. Drink water, because you will be out for a long time. You will be out probably for quite a few hours. And if you're over 21, you're probably going to have at least one drink, unless you're sober, which is also perfectly fine. But you're probably going to have at least one alcoholic drink if you choose to. You gotta hydrate. You gotta eat and you gotta hydrate. The sun is barreling down on you all day. There might be like tents to go to that have some shade, but you are going to be under the sun all day long. So please, 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 please hydrate, especially if you are drinking. That is 100% bold line in red. Circle it, punctuate it. Please drink water. Number five, dress and plan accordingly. So I definitely suggest researching and looking up the event you're going to beforehand. And this is for a couple of reasons. This is to kind of plan out the venue and see what the venue is going to look like. Maybe a map is going to be posted of the festival, so you'll be able to see where all of the specific tents are and specific areas are. And if you're an anxious person like me, you're going to want to see what the parking situation is like, where to go inside, where to check in, where to pay for your ticket. You're going to want to make sure you have all that information on lock beforehand. But you're also going to want to check to see if it's a family-friendly event or if it's an 18+ event, because that can dictate a lot about what the event is like. That can change what you do during the day. So definitely be squared away on family-friendly versus 18+, because different things happen at both events. And obviously people who are under 18 can't get into 18+ events. So just plan accordingly. Make sure you have all that information set aside before you even start to plan like your outfits, the day that you're going. Just make sure you have all the information squared away. Make sure you are fully prepared for everything that could possibly be there. Number six, I think we're on number six. Bring money. I know every year I tell myself I'm not going to buy anything from a Pride. Even if it's a giant festival and my rent is due the next day, I always tell myself I'm not going to buy anything, but I inevitably do. I always find something cute or something funny or something that's ultra specific to my identity that I want. so I'm gonna buy it. Like I told myself last year I wasn't gonna buy anything, and I bought these earrings, and these earrings. So please do yourself a favor. Don't deny yourself of the cool stuff that's gonna be there, and bring some money to Pride. And not only will you get some really cool products, you will also be supporting a most likely locally owned small business. So what's cooler than that? Number 7? I think we're on number 7, so we're going to go with number 7. Don't feel pressured to do anything you don't want to do. There will probably be a lot of people who are drinking alcohol. Maybe if it's a state where marijuana is legalized recreationally, people might be smoking weed or partaking in things like that. Don't feel pressured to do any of it, because this is your time to celebrate Pride. And if your celebration of Pride doesn't involve things like alcohol, then that's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that. If your version of Pride entails only going to family-friendly events, then so be it. Let that be your celebration of Pride. This is your time to celebrate in a way that is best suited for you, and no one has the right to take that away. So do what feels most comfortable to you, and you will have a great time. Number 8, have fun, and also allow others to have fun in their own way too. Some people like to be very energetic and very loud and hyper for events like this. People like to dance and be on the dance floor and go to all the performances and be energetic, and that's totally fine. But some people also like to just walk around the festival and have a more low-key time, really just have a hangout with their friends and maybe meet new people, but they like to be a lot more low-key and chill, and that's totally fine. But what we're all here to do is we're all here to celebrate the same type of thing, and we are all here to have a good time, and none of us should be prohibiting another person from having that good time. So we should all be there to have fun and allow others to have fun too. And that goes for people who are in straight presenting relationships too that are at Pride, and people who you might think are allies. People like that are also welcome at Pride, because we never know someone's identity. We never know if someone is straight, we never know if someone's queer, we never know if someone's trans, we never know anything about that person unless they tell us. So Pride is meant to be an inclusive, open, welcoming space for everyone. And that's exactly what we should allow it to be. Number 9, if you are still in the closet, you don't have to be decked out in Pride gear. And you don't have to be loud about who you are if you don't want to be. There is no obligation to present a certain way or declare your identity a certain way. Just because a lot of people do it a certain way doesn't mean you aren't allowed to do it in a completely opposite way or a completely different way. It's all dependent on how comfortable you are expressing that part of yourself, and people don't need to know the reason why you're at Pride. Like I said earlier, allies go to Pride. People in straight passing relationships go to Pride. Closeted people go to Pride. Every different type of person goes to Pride. And you don't have to feel pressure to express yourself in a certain way, because you are allowed to express yourself in your most authentic way, and that's just it. Nobody gets to take that away from you, and nobody gets to treat that any differently than someone who is decked out in all of their Pride gear. Number 10, have fun and engage with your community. Pride events are really fun when you get the chance to connect with people in the queer community that you might not have had the chance to in other circumstances, or you might not have met whatsoever. It's really interesting and a very neat experience to talk to people in the community who have different identities than you, or who have different stories than you do, or who have the same stories as you do. It's a very eye-opening experience to talk to people about what their life experiences have been as queer people, or as allies, or as anything, honestly, as any identity, outside of sexuality and gender as well. It's just interesting and eye-opening to talk to people from different walks of life than you are in. Well, there you have it, folks. There's your short, simple, and sweet little guide to Pride this year. If I missed anything, or you have any other suggestions for Pride, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you celebrate Pride this year, I hope you have a wonderful time. Stay safe and have fun. If you want to hang out with me on Twitch or Twitter or TikTok, all of that will be in the description below. So happy Pride, everybody, and I hope you all get the chance to celebrate, and I hope you all have a great Pride, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!